Like every Friday, good to see you all here on my live Instagram, and this time trying also with YouTube. So, if you have any questions for me, is there anything you want me to discuss, let me know and I will try to answer. Let me know how was your trading days this week. I mean today and this week. I don't know if you traded with me this week, but I really had a terrible day on Tuesday, I believe it was. And then all fixed. Finished the week in green territory. Today was green. Had 4 trades, actually more than that, because took 2 long trades where I added in both. So these 2 long trades went out fine, 2 losers, but finished up over $1,600. So I'm smiling for the weekend. If you have any questions, anything you want me to take a look at, anything you want to ask me, let me know. I'm here to answer your questions, and do not forget that at the end of this session today, I'm gonna start a question like I do on every Friday, and you can win a $250 voucher from Tradenet if you answer the question correctly, and that's gonna happen in approximately 20 minutes or so at the end of this session. So if you have any questions for me, let me know. I'll try and read. I'm doing the same in YouTube, trying to do it once more. I had several troubles last time when we were doing that, so hopefully it's going to go fine. I don't yet see any chat in YouTube. So hold on a second. I'm trying to see if I can get any chats from YouTube. So, okay. Should be, but so far I don't see any. Okay, so let me start with the questions that I can see are starting to pop up here. What criteria should I consider when I scan pre-market? Okay, Trex. Let me tell you this. Before trading, of course, when we start trading, we always scan the pre-market. I mean, pre-market is very, very important. I mean, that's where I get all my picks, really. I get my picks. Hold on a second. I want to do something here with the YouTube video, which I don't like. Trying to fix it. Sorry, guys, on YouTube. Doing my best. Can't do too much. Okay, so hey, Gil 20. So what you should consider when you're scanning the pre-market, I usually look for big gaps, big gap up, big gaps down. Everything that's coming up or down with a gap should be something that you should be looking for. Anything that comes with gaps, anything that is looking like it's going to be a big mover today because people love to buy it or to short or to long gaps pre-market. So my main search for the pre-market is gap. Excuse me for a second, once more here, because I really don't like what I see on the YouTube channel. Trying to get it up again. Excuse me for that. Hold on a second. Let's see if I can make it better. Well, I hope it is. Yeah, well, let's try and keep it this way. So sorry you guys in YouTube that I'm looking on the other way, but it's just the way that I have to place my camera so you can see something. So, okay, so pre-market time, look for big movers. Any other questions? Let's see. Hey, Kribov from Moscow. Here's a 20,000 account and a leverage of 6 times. So how much should you use for trading? It does not matter how much you have on leverage. It does not matter. If you have a $20,000 account, you shouldn't be, well, let me say it in a little bit different way. How much are you willing to risk from the $20,000 account? Now, let's say you're willing to risk $10,000. It could be 20. Okay, let's say you're just willing to risk $10,000. If you're willing to risk $10,000, you shouldn't be risking more than 1 up to 2%, usually of your account size. Meaning, of how much money you're willing to lose. So if you're willing to lose 10 grand, you shouldn't be risking more than $100 per trade. At some special occasions, you should go up to 2%, which is $200. Again, if you're willing to risk 10 grand. So up to 2%. Why is that this big difference? This big difference really is due to the fact that not all trades are created equally. Some trades you want to take for a bigger, with a bigger size, meaning with a bigger risk. So with some trades, you should be risking a little bit more. With the average trade, I would say, you shouldn't be risking more than 1%. That is up to $100 per trade if you can risk $10,000. Now I could get into explaining this like another 30 minutes or so. I will not, but I just gave you the answer, and it's a very clear answer, but I will not get into details right now as to exactly why. But let me just say this. Of course, you will have winners, you will have losers, but at the end of the day, if you will lose more than 1%, 1 point something percent per trade, you will also have, of course, winners, and therefore you can keep on trading for quite a long time, even if you're going down with your account. Let's say you're just beginning, and usually most people when they start out are losing money. So that's how it looks like. What do I think? Put in the system TFS a maximum loss per day. When I hit my platform, I would be frozen until the next day. I really think that it doesn't matter which platform you're using. I really think, Chris, that you should have a daily stop loss. I really think that the daily stop loss is very, very important. I believe that daily stop loss is something that you should use. You should stop your loss at a specific price per day. Should you or shouldn't you have that in the platform? For novice traders, it's usually good. For experienced traders, they usually don't want to do that. Until recently, TFS was really at the point where they forced you to have a max loss per day. I think they just canceled it. If they did not cancel it, it's about to be canceled. So it's not going to continue. So they will not force you to have a max loss. You will be the one who will determine whether to have a max loss or not. Okay, for those of you who are just joining us, I want to remind just one more thing. In a few minutes, by the end of this session, we're going to have a short questions which I'm going to ask, and you're supposed to be answering. Those of you, the first person is going to give the right answer, assuming he did not win the past, because we're not giving vouchers to people who already won the past. So the first person to answer will get a $250 voucher from Tradenet, which you can use for Tradenet services. So it's just coming up. If you're just joining, we'll do it soon. I will ask a question soon. Let me see if you have more questions here. How do I know when to stop trading? Good point. You know, I have certain rules about stopping trading. For example, if I start out with 3 consecutive losing trades, I stop trading. That's one of my most important rules. And the reason I have this rule is because I know that I'm not capable of continuing to trade. Now, do I feel like I'm not capable of continuing to trade? Absolutely not. When I'm down 3 trades, 3 consecutive trades, And the last time it happened to me was several months ago. I can't remember when, but I do have it every few months or so. I have a day like that. So when I have a day like this and I'm down 3 trades, I would love to continue trading, because the only thing that comes to my mind is I need to come back to green. And that's a very, very dangerous feeling. Now, at this point, I would love to continue, but since I have the rule, although I do not feel that I'm not capable of trading, you don't feel that you're not capable of continuing to trade after 3 consecutive losses. You don't. You feel like you are absolutely sure you're going to get back to green. But I know, based on my experience, that when I start out this way, usually I'm trying to compensate, I'm trying to get back to green, and usually I'm making mistakes, and usually I would have some of my worst trading days when they start out with 3 consecutive losses. So that's one of my rules. That's when I stop trading. And the other thing, which is the exact opposite, is when I'm getting to the point where I'm making enough money. So if I'm having a great start and I'm making a good income at the beginning of my trading day, I will do the following. I may not stop trading, but I will reduce my size to a ridiculous number of shares. So if my average share size is anywhere between 1,000 to 4,000 shares per trade, I would probably come down to 400 to 600 shares per trade. So something like, I don't know, 10 to 20% of my usual size. That wouldn't be considered stopping to trade, but that would be considered as, I want to stay green, almost stopping to trade. So you have to have these, walls that protect you if you're losing, and that's one way to stop. And the second way is when you're winning, because at both of these circumstances, you are not really capable of continuing to trade. When I'm losing too much, I'm mentally not I'm mentally not right to continue to trading. And when I'm winning too much, I feel invincible. I feel like every trade I'm going to take from now on is going to be a winner. Why should I stop? And that's also very dangerous. So don't, in both cases, I would either reduce my size dramatically or stop trading. 3 consecutive losses, as I mentioned earlier, I would absolutely stop. Okay, next question here. Really, I don't see you trading stocks which can close the gap. You don't see me, he doesn't see me trading the stocks which are in the direction of closing the gap. Well, I do trade them, although you won't see me doing a lot of this. That is true. The reason is I love to trade gap and go. Gap and go are usually working much better. I traded a few of those today, not shorts, actually longs, because I didn't find any short candidate today. And actually found one, Roku, that was one of my losers today. I did finish my day in green, but that was because of gap and go long. So it's not about me not liking to trade stocks that close the gap. I love doing that, but once I get a better opportunity trading a gap and go, which usually will be more volatile and more fun to trade, in my opinion, and I'm more of an expert of trading those stocks. Okay, so I do what I do best. So when I do that and I succeed by doing this, then I'm concentrating on these stocks. So right, you don't see me doing much, but I do. Look at my videos. You'll find plenty of these gap close trades. Not so many, but you'll find. What is the difference between our group and other groups? Well, you will have to find out yourself. If you go to the bio of this group, you will find a link for a 14-day free trial. It's absolutely for free. You don't have to present a credit card or anything like that. Just join in for a 14-day and look at what we're doing. We're doing good. And I don't know about other groups. I'm sure there are other groups which are doing fine too. What usually traders would say, and again, I don't spend much time in other groups, me personally, but I am aware of other traders who think that we have a great group. They enjoy it very much. And they also like the transparency, because every trade I post, I take, and then I show it to you. I show you how much money I made, how much money I lose. So this kind of transparency doesn't come often in many other trading rooms, although there are, of course. So just join us for a free 14-day trial, swipe up later or go to the bio and you'll find a way to join us and make up your mind for yourself. But I think that would be our main advantage, transparency. And I think we're, and of course, I think we are good traders. So that should be the first, right? Of course, if you come to Berlin, Krimova, welcome to have a beer. It's not that far away from Russia. And we do have an office in Russia. Look for TradeNetAcademy.ru. It's all in Russian. Okay. How to win the 250 gift card? Very soon. I'm going to ask a question and hang on for a few more minutes and you can win this. And you can win this voucher. How do you deal with your emotions, especially with fear and anger on stocks that doesn't do what you want them to do? Well, you gotta have a lot of discipline. You gotta have a lot of, you need to have a lot of knowledge, discipline, and experience. I mean, that's the only way. When I started out, of course, I had a lot of emotions, much more. I have emotions right now, but I had many more issues with my emotions. I was not even close to what I'm doing today, and I had to learn how to deal with my fear. I had to learn how to deal with my greed. The best way is to lower your size, and when you lower your size, you can work it out better. But there is a limit to how much size you may be able to trade. I mean, usually it would be around 400 shares. So if you're up to more than that, you should probably lower your size. It's a good way to deal with your emotions and just a lot of experience. You gotta have rules. You gotta have rules. So if you have some education, if you have some knowledge, and you know what you're supposed to be doing. Like, for example, let's just imagine you trust what I'm saying today. I took two great trades today, LYFT, Lift, and Baba, both long today. And that's a good example because what happened with both is they ended up doing absolutely great, and I was adding as it moved up, as it pulled back down, and I ended up having two amazing trades, both in Baba and LYFT. But guess what? I asked later in the trading room, and I was begging my trading room members today. I was really begging my trading room members, please stay in. So yes, they played around a little bit. They came up, they came down. They're both known to be quite volatile, both Baba and Lift, especially Lift. But they hasn't done anything wrong. So were my emotions all over the place? Of course they were. Like, wow, I'm doing money. Wow, I'm losing now. Wow, it's back up again. Let's add. And then I'm getting even more emotional. So the thing is, I have my emotions. But I know the rules of trade. I know how stocks are supposed to behave. Does that always help me? No, but it does help me in 68% of the time when I'm finishing a trade in green territory. That is my success rate. And I trust that success rate. And I trust what I know. So the thing is, when you know the rules and you expect the stock to do X and it does that, you stay with it and you trust your emotions and you try to get over your fear and greed. And then I ended up with two great trades. But then I came back to my trading room and asked my trading room members, how many of you did not survive this trade with me? And I was begging them. Look, I mentioned several times, it's just pulling back down, sit down, relax, hasn't done anything wrong, stock is uptrending, you shouldn't be moving out, keep on, even add as it comes down, nothing wrong, the stock was uptrending, didn't change its direction in any way. Actually, I'm still open, 100 trades in Baba and 200 in Lift. Hold on a second, I want to take a quick look now. Still uptrending, nothing wrong with that. Okay, so, and I asked them, did you survive these trades with me? Please say if you didn't. Some of them didn't. Why? They were with me. We were trading live. Why couldn't they hold? They couldn't hold to their emotions. I could. And you know what? One of the things that helps me control my emotion is the fact that I'm running a trading room with 1,000 people trading live with me, more than 1,000 people trading live with me every day. I must control my emotion. When I'm posting a trade, when I'm trading it, if I'm not going to control my emotions, what kind of an example am I giving to the people that I'm trading with? So yes, it helps me running a room to control my emotions. It helps me because I have a lot of experience. But can everybody do that? No. But it comes in time. How do you know where to take the partials? You should have your risk and reward planned. So you know where to plan your target. You know when to plan your stop. I'm saying plan because planning is one important thing, and then comes reality, which may be a little bit different. So you know where to plan this, but you don't really know exactly where to take it. If you're with me in the trading room, I'll tell you where I take it, so you could follow me if you like. But let me promise you one thing. In time, you will understand better. I mean, you look at the stock, and now I'm not going to, this is not a joke what I'm going to tell you right now. I mean, don't consider it as a joke. It actually kind of talks to you back. I mean, you ask it, well, I mean, can you continue higher? Seriously, I'm doing that. You should probably think I should be hospitalized now. The thing is, when you are watching a stock behave in a certain way, you kind of understand it. So I'm looking at the stock, and I did it several times today. And I had the feeling like it reached its target. Okay, it can go farther. It's maybe the way the chart formation, it's maybe the way the chart formation plus the volume. It may be a lot of things. But the thing is, it talks to you back. Ask it, really. Ask it, what are you going to do next? It's going to tell you. Not really, but try imagining it as. Hold on a second. Okay, another question, and we'll be through for the day. What do I think about a system that makes 70% wins and 30% lose? Teach me it. Come on, Yosef, teach me. I mean, of course it's great. You need to understand how to find the right stocks to trade. Are you trading with our trading room? I mean, let's do it first together, and then you learn more, I think. I see there's a guy here who doesn't really like me. Fine. It's okay. You don't have to. I love you back. I do, I really do. Come have a drink in Berlin, Chris. Seriously. I love meeting traders here. I'm meeting a lot of traders here who come sometimes. And hold on a second. Let me see something. Okay, so we are now coming to the part where I'm going to ask you a question, and looking forward to get the right answer. If you do, and you'll be the first one, you'll get a $250 voucher from Tradenet. So are you ready? Let me scroll down now, and I'm sorry that I couldn't answer all of your questions. I'll do it next week, I guess. I mean, be the first to ask, and I will be glad to answer. So again, sorry if I didn't answer your questions yet, but we have to stop this broadcast sometime. So if you're ready, here we go. Here's the question I want to ask you. Let me think how to rephrase this. Let's assume you're shorting a stock. It's coming down. All red candles. All red candles. It's coming down. Stock is coming down. And you want to get to the point where you are about to click the button and take your partial. It actually answers a question that I was asked earlier. So listen, before you get a green candle, I did not get a green candle, I'm only seeing red candles, stock is coming down. Before I'm getting a green candles, there are two marks that indicate that the stock is about to pull back. Which are the two marks? You need to write both, otherwise it wouldn't be the right answer. The first one to answer is going to get a $250 voucher. No green candles, no technical pullback in green candles. There are two signs for a pullback. All red candles. All red candles. No bottoming tails or anything like that. All red candles. Two signs for a pullback, for a possible pullback. And then once you get these two signs, you're not clicking the button once you see the two signs, but once you're seeing maybe a bottoming tails and maybe a green candle, you certainly are going to click that button and take your partial. So if you're shorting a stock, again, all red candles, there will be two signs for a pullback. They don't always come, of course, they don't always come, but once they do, they are quite clear. They are quite clear. They are quite clear. And then you can expect a pullback. Let me go back and see your first answers. Huge volume, long tail, no. Ask price, no. Long range, big volume. Mamma Mia 20. Didn't you? I know you. How are you doing? Yeah. Long range, big volume. That's the answer. And you got it right. Thank you. Okay, guys, here's the answer. Haven't seen you for a while. How are you doing? Okay, here comes the answer. And of course, the answer is right. When you're watching a stock coming down and there's a long candle, a wide range candle, you could say the same, a wide range candle, and it comes with high volume, that's a great sign for a pullback. Usually people think that high volume on a long range candle, I mean, it's crashing. Why should it pull back now? Well, the answer is quite simple, because most of the sellers are out. The high volume is due, it's done, it's on the wide range candle. So the candle shows the price came down strong with high volume, extended volume really, not just high. And because of that, it means that usually sellers are out of the game, only buyers left, very, very likely like 70-80% pullback. So again, nothing is 100%. You could find another wide range candle and another high volume right afterwards. But it will be very rare. Mostly like almost 80% of the time, when you see a wide range candle with high volume, as the stock is coming down dramatically, I mean, not just pulling back down slowly, that would be the time to take your profits Or, of course, if you long a stock that is coming down, wait until you see that, have your stop below, so maybe you could save your long trade. Doesn't necessarily have to be taking your partial on the short. Well, guys, I want to thank you very much for being here with me, like we do on every Friday. Started this today in YouTube too, so thank you guys on YouTube too. Although I was looking left to my Instagram. Next time I'll find a way to put my iPad in a better way so we could both look at each other's eyes. Sorry for that, for those of you on YouTube. Anyway, I want to thank you again, and really have a great weekend, traders. That was a long week, but a really nice one. So enjoy your weekend. If you're interested, we have a great lesson today. I'm going to give a great lesson. I think it's going to be a great lesson. I'm going to give a lesson today about risk management. So many of the things we discussed here today, just higher level, are going to be discussed today. So if you want, just go into Tradenet website and look at the top banner. You will see something that goes like this lesson. It's a lesson today. So it does cost $500 to join if you're interested. If you've been with us in our funded accounts program, the sponsorship actually comes from TFS, which will add $700 to your account. So if you are trading a TFS account and you want to join today, you will have to pay $500, but you'll get back $700 as a max stop to your account. So just in case you want to do that, that would be on tradenet.com. And again, have a great weekend. Enjoy your day, your weekend, and I'll see you next week here in Instagram, of course, and in our trading room. Just swipe up to join. See you guys. Bye.